All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. We'll try to smooth out those rough roads. I forgot what I was using to control my blood pressure. They got in my life and turned it upside down. So melatonin, they flooded my feed with bad information about melatonin until I stopped taking it. Then they stopped. So again, it was a psyop, but it works. I was trying to figure out what the hell's going on with my blood pressure, and it also helps relax you. Like you won't get. You know how you feel your stress increasing. If you take melatonin, I guarantee your stress will decrease slower. So your blood pressure doesn't raise up as quick. All right. They blocked me from that. Here's what they do all day, and then try to say that you're investigating something. Now, people, because something just came up. People are all like screwed up in life, and the last thing they want is like some BS in the White House. Like whatever, like how did it turn out? Who won? They're sick of Zelensky and they're slick all of you because they don't want to see that. Right? I have to be careful because I think I took my blood pressure medicine today, but I don't know if I did. I opened it up and I can't remember if I actually took one out of it. So I went back and I'm like, oh, did I take it or not? It's not memory. It's a setup. It's a metaphysical setup. Right? It's not loss of memory. It's a spell. Right? Mm. Now I'm going to have to develop a system and make it work. Right? So I was like, I was I started getting massages because my right side was tightening up, and as soon as I started releasing all this stuff, my body just went crazy. I got the cramps out of my leg and everything. I was supposed to do it like 3 years ago at least. I couldn't get to it. Again, they stalk me online. They start willing me down. Again, you gave them way too much way. I told you that years ago. Right. What was wrong with my Surface Pro screen protector? Not working. So it got a little cool today. I think it warms back up tomorrow. So if I get sick tonight, I'll know my food wasn't good. What happened is I left my freezer open and all my veggie food defrosted, but it was still cool and it was closed. I didn't open it, and when I cook it, I make sure I cook it through and through. So I don't think it's going to get me, but I ate like one serving to see what happens. Well, I can't throw all that food away. I just can't do it. See, that's what when they curse me, that's what happens. Yeah, throw those away. I still got that ache in that left back, and I think it's just grabbing a nerve. I don't think it's a disc. I keep trying to isolate it because I've had it. I think I've had both sides release pretty good, and there was nothing there. Right. But it was only a momentary thing. For like 10 minutes or something. And then yesterday when he got my right side down, it didn't do it. Right. So, like the Hare Krishna gurus, when they used to have problems like this, they had actually massage therapists that were, devotees, and they would just massage them, for free, of course, like every day, right, until they can get it to go away. But again, my sinuses are clearing a little better, not 100%, but that's the thing, when to schedule the next appointment. I don't want to violate anybody's rules or better judgment or anything. So I've been calling them and asking them, what I should do. And again, I imagine it's difficult to staff those things like they used to be easier back before they tried to kill me. Yeah, again, you can't win when you do me. I mean, yeah, I suffer, but you can't win. Right. A little cool out here. I was noticing how warm it was the other day. But light some incense here. No, Hashem says that is the ark. Hashem said that's my ark. They can build all the arks they like, but that's my ark. That's Hashem. Like when I woke up, I knew that was Hashem. Of course, I have memories from. Okay, so when I said that the Hashem would raise your children is really what I'm saying. So what happened is God is in, and like my personality. So God, I can't do it without God. So God takes my personality and He starts raising your kids because He was mad. I made public notice somewhere of that. I do that for God. I make public notice. I guess it comes along with being a prophet. No, it just boggles my mind why I couldn't get back to massage. Right. Again, I understand it now and how it all worked. Right? They just keep that tension up, and your mind can't clear. Right. They're sickening, disgusting. Yeah, I would, if I didn't end up with that COVID and all that, I took that loan and I had extra money. I had all these plans to how I was going to do something. I'm still ahead of the game because some things have worked out a little bit. Right. Let's see. I guess the Pope is resting calmly. I actually found a speaker, but it's not portable. It has USB. Right. It's the clips. It's funny. It's the clips too. So they have one's a USB B, the other one's USB C. I don't know how it sounds, but the weird part is I had an Extreme Mac speaker. I used to get them at I think Ross or something like that, and cut rate price, and they're old technology, but it sounded great. have no idea what went wrong. I think it had like a USB connection, right, or something like that. Like maybe I did the auxiliary. I don't know. I'm just so gun shy. I don't want to order anything from Amazon as far as electronics like that. It takes you like a month to get a refund. I mean, because you can't test the thing. Let's go to Best Buy or something. Best Buy is probably going to come up soon. Well, if people start noticing to return something to Amazon, it takes all that time. They're going to start going to Best Buy again. So Best Buy will probably increase their inventory if we don't have a downturn. Although there's an indicator at this point. There's an indicator. Downturn coming up. I turned the heat up in here. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I was like, oh, it's the heat. Now, last night I came back and I turned on. I have a heating pad that you can wear. Again, it's got a cord, so I have another one that's battery. I don't know, that one hasn't worked out that well, but this one with the cord, I was able to position it on my pillow in bed, so I stayed warm all night, and my back pretty much stayed well enough where I could sleep on my back without some major cramping. Nah, they did this to me with intention. Right. Forethought, intention, forethought, and malice. See, that didn't sound like a slide going on a gun, but sometimes when I lock the door, that's what it sounds like. And that's like a psychic thing. Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, I was pretty healthy as far as, when I moved here more than I was before. So it was kind of working out. But boy, they tried to stress me out before I left. They, opened, they got in my van, turned on my turn signal, put a little silhouette of Trump on the tailgate. They were harassing me. They're making fun of Trump. Right. Or my lift gate on my van. A lot of druggies everywhere, even in the PD. They support drug dealing and drugs. So early warning is very important. We want as much early warning as we can on that border. If Elon wasn't Doge, we might be able to give it to Starlink. But he's Doge. You can't. It's conflict of interest. So yeah, I spoke about it before. How they ruin a person's life and then try to give them temptation to like commit some crime to have money. That's what they're doing to Elon. They're going to tank his money and try to tempt him. I have a battery powered thing, but it only goes down to the shoulders. But I don't know if it's hot enough. But I did order. I could have had one delivered today if it was white, but something said buy the gray one, so I bought the gray one. But I won't get here tomorrow. It's like a mattress pad that that goes down around your mattress where it has that, kind of gauze side thing with elastic. Right. Looks like a kind of like a standard mattress pad. It's a little thicker, I'm sure, and it has those heating. Has a heating pad within it. It's a heating pad. It has two zones, left and right. I need the two zones because I don't have anybody on the other side of the bed. I don't want to pay to heat it, but that should work good. I wish I had it for tonight, but even now I can't order the white one for some reason because I just looked at it metaphysically. Yeah, that's what happened to my blood pressure. It's the freaking melatonin, man. Right? No, it really drops it a lot. And then you don't like when you get excited, you don't get as excited. So I got to get back on the melatonin. So yeah, if I would suspect pretty soon that some of the local stores will pick up on electronics purchases, like big Bluetooth speakers and stuff. Because they're just not going to want to wait a month for their refund. If I buy it and it's shit, I want to take it back to the store and that's it, right? Right. My brother says there's no downturn. I said they're preparing for the downturn. My brother says no downturn. They're just trying to make more money off of it. But again, actually, after he said, isn't that weird? I said that today to my brother. There's a downturn coming. He's like, no, there's not. Now there's indicators that a downturn's coming. No, there's no downturn. It's just Amazon trying to be greedy. No, it's sad I couldn't do this over the last 4 years, get back to massage therapy. I was so close. I almost had somebody coming into my apartment to do it. I just couldn't complete it. Right. They're willing me down. Right. Actually. I like have zero melatonin now. That's weird. I use small doses, but it works. Right. That's why I was probably getting all excited a lot too. I wanted to use my melatonin. Again, they're psyops designed to cause you to get excited and yell at them and curse at them. I don't think it really worked out for all of them, but I kind of taught them a lesson, but they don't learn. They're simply evil. Simply evil. Evil as evil is. Evil as evil does. So I'm going to turn these things on, see if I can get my back to chill out. Get the heat cruising and lay down and see if my back will stay softer. Right. I was going to read the news and figure out. I guess they're asking some questions. Well, the water should be wired so that we know when somebody comes across. Use whatever you need to get it there. You can also use military units and their equipment, as I described, to augment whatever we have. Right. Yeah, my neck's still too tight. All right, so what was let's see what Elon's been posting. I don't generally look. Well, not like I used to. I used to just read his feed, but since he's been going wacko, I'm like, yeah. Trying to see what Grok says here about Social Security. We'll be fine. Reserves are expected to be depleted by 2035. We're gonna invest that money. We'll do fine. Right. We got plenty of time. Right. We're gonna invest money. It's gonna be a brave new world. We're gonna invest government money. This idea where government can't invest the taxpayer funds is bullshit. Right. We need to build a reserve. Well, it should help the world. It should help. Or it should help our economy too. Again, we can't. We don't want to cause inflation and things like that, but it should work. We'll be fine. We have till 2035. God sent me to plant with all the answers. You won't kill the answers. Kill the answer man. Thanks, Larry. But I do give answers inside too. So people have received my answers. So we're very wealthy off of your answers. Thank you, Larry. Pretty sure. We got time. That's not an emergency. We should invest whatever we want. We need to invest. We don't have to return the money all the time because, as a people, we need the government to have a reserve of funding. So some of that money should just go into building capital. Like I said, I said years ago that's what we needed to do for universal health care, but I never thought like a direct investment. Right. But I knew it would open up eventually. No, you just keep investing money. And then all that money that the government's investing in the economy or into the markets and stuff, that just makes that much more money. Now, there's some ethical questions, but I don't think there's any options. I think the government should have been investing. I mean, the government would be. I mean, I can't even imagine how much money the government would have right now if it actually, back when the market became popular, right? If it started investing. No, I mean, I don't think the market could fail once that happens. Now you have personal. There's two different things. There's personal investment and then government investment. So you'll have the option of personal investment over, like you still need the standard Social Security because you don't want people like they can't borrow against their Social Security. Like in a 401k, you could borrow for college, you could borrow to buy a home. Right? So if something goes wrong, you still have your standard Social Security. Right? That's a required deductible. Right? Thank you, Larry. But that money should be invested. Should never have been squandered. Should have been invested. Correct. I just couldn't believe it yesterday. I was actually sleeping on my back. I'm like, no, they're blocking me. So I like should have got to all this years ago. You shouldn't be going through this now. I went through it when I was like 56 or something, and I should have got to an answer. Right. Well, they operated me till I could no longer move through it. That's why I couldn't buy the vehicle or anything. It was just again, there's no reason for me not to buy a vehicle, but they just did a bunch of shit around it all day. Right. Gosh. After decades of doing shit around me all day. Right. Make sure. I'm freaking hungry. I hate steroids when corticosteroids make me hungry. You know what? It didn't make me hungry like this last time. Right. I think I even lost weight on it. So I don't. Who knows? They could. Right. The doctor doesn't supply the corticosteroid. The people that are the staff do. So they could have been paid money, right? Provide the wrong dosage or not at all. Right. Agreed there. Actually, it's possible deep state's that corrupt. So when he massaged down the right side and the neck and all that left side pinched nerve stuff went away. Right. And all that cramping. I just wish I had my money so I could do this real. I just have people come in here, massage me here, that would be easier. Oh, yeah, I was going to read the news. They were fine on that. Well, I mean, when it came to Ukraine, I don't know I would have never let that White House meeting go unless there was some secret offer that you were going to, you don't have to do it again. I'm not telling you to do something. I'm just saying it made no sense to allow that to happen. Right. I'm going to give it a try here. It'd be nice to have had that bed thing. All right. Oh. See if this warming stuff will work. No, there's no way that should have happened. What is this video photo? What? That's weird. This Rothmus thing. What the hell is that? Right. Make any sense? U.S. government, Doge, the U.S. government, stupid shit. What? I said NGOs are a scam before Elon Musk did. He stole all my stuff. Yep. He took my personality, my persona. Well, I mean, there are honest NGOs and they're required, so I don't want to go into get into the stoop. Well, because the real purpose of NGOs is still valid, right? There are there's a lot of church NGOs and stuff that are real. They're not getting rich off it. They're just living their dream, right? Like the guy that got mad at Elon because his peanut butter. He can't send his peanut butter to Africa. I don't think he's there getting uber wealthy. Right. Sounds like a Christian guy. Yeah, I told you you'd find a bunch of fraud, waste, and abuse. But let's not be stupid about it. Right. Yeah, but you see, breaking USAID funded NGO accused of meddling in Romania's elections. That could be CIA. I told you that before. Right. Look, Trump and his people are going to meddle in elections. Right. Right. It's part of government. Nah, I'll tell you what. Without the investment from all those countries and all those billionaires, Argentina would be tits up. They'd be dead. Right? Don't act like it was just this luck of some thing. Right? Well, it was external investment. Right? Well, because you're conservatives, you're trying to lie about actually how it happened, like it was just him trimming the budget. Right? Right. That was massive investment. I told you what happened, that they already made a backdoor deal, that if Trump, punts, that they're just going to stand together as Europe. Because he would be like that unless he had a backdoor deal. Right. I think the process could have been more neutral, but you do what you want. Right. Atlantic Fed indicator. Right. Well, you're all living that MAGA dream, but to a lot of people, you didn't even make it look good. Could at least try to make it look good. Well, the only thing I have, I don't know what Russia was planning to do, but they said they wanted to do some talks, and then Ukraine surged into Russia, and that threw the talks off. So my question is whether Biden was part of that nonsense. He said he didn't know, but I find it hard pressed for that to be true. Well, I think they wanted to scuttle the peace talks. I think their goal was to get rid of Putin because he doesn't like gay people and all that. Right. But again, you only right when you're right. So again, it's not like Trump's right all the time or Biden's right all the time or this party or that, but you're only right when you're right. Right. Well, it's good that we use the people from Colorado because we have in reserve the people in Fort Hood and Fort Bliss. Right. And this will give us a little more security. I don't know what the General Support Aviation Battalion. they're talking about a big part of it's Arizona, which makes sense. Well, because we have Fort Hood and Fort Bliss in Texas, unless they're going to spread them out. I don't know. And then we have Fort or Camp Pendleton, and a couple. We have the Seal. We have Quantico, not Quantico. I mean Coronado. Right. I don't know if you're moving any spec ops. I guess you might be keeping that quiet. I don't know. Some from Bragg. Oh, is that the Fort Bragg people? Or no? Fort Campbell. So you got some aviation. Is your aviation coming from Campbell? So, okay, we got those vehicles. That's going to work great. So again, I know there's plans ever since 9/11. We've been developing contingency plans and things. But go that like they do in New York in the subways, and they do during the Times Square and all that stuff. Right. We have to make sure that the cities and even some of the smaller areas that have some people that they can pull in. Right. Well, because terrorism is an issue. Again, anytime we move against any entity, right, like I say, they're like unlawful enemy combatants. If you ask me, they're even past terrorism. Correct. So we need to be able to, fight terrorism. Just keep moving the people that are of that age, you know, and of that connection. Vehicles. Well, hopefully the Bragg people are special people. Hopefully the aviation assets are for Campbell. Quite possibly the heating pads are working. Yeah, I probably should have went to Manhattan. I probably would have wired in better too. Right. Manhattan, Kansas, it is. There's a nice place, like $900 a month or something for a 2-bedroom, all hard floors. Regular. Okay, let's see what it is. Let's see here. Okay, so okay, 101st Division Sustainment Brigade. Alpha Company. Oh, see, you're okay. I gotta see what that is. I know what it is, but I'll see exactly what it is. I'm putting in infrastructure, I guess. Right, there it is. Right. So that'll help with future deployments. You'll have a system in place. So combat sustainment brigades. And I guess they probably need more support. What does these people do? Sustainment support unit. Oh, so you're putting in the infrastructure, right? That actually means that there's most likely going to be more deployments. This is like an event. It's not an advanced party, but it's infrastructure. Right. I'm trying to figure who these people are. No, that's a ton of infrastructure. Where's it? Where do I? They're at Fort Hoochie Woochie Fort Drum. Yeah, 10th Mountain. Yeah. It's a matter of time. Social Security, as it was planned, wasn't a Ponzi scheme. They turned it into one. The whole government's a Ponzi scheme. Easing rules on military. Right, we need to make sure that our law enforcement rapid deployment systems and our National Guard that support that law enforcement. Again, so we move some units. We just got to make sure they're all available. Right. Stuff that I spoke about, election day stuff. Right. Very similar. Right. So again, the key is that we need to identify some air mobile helicopter assets sufficiently so that if a flash mob stops movement, that we just fly up over it. The cities need to be protected for terrorists. Again, we know there's a system that the cartels use when the Mexican military launch operations against certain individuals or groups. Actually, I think El Chapo and his sons used to use it. So we should be prepared that they could try to immobilize our cities. And again, the idea that we should have, wreckers and stuff like that to move. You just move a vehicle in a truck, a big huge truck, and light it on fire, and block highways and roads. Right. So we need to be able to push that out of the way. Again, they might not do it, but if they do it, we got to be ready. We have to be prepared to reclaim a city if they try to shut it down. And again, they could just use small time or smaller operations. I say the every maintenance yeah, transportation units are coming in. Right, yeah, on-call aviation assets at strategically placed at different airports. We want to be able to move regardless of what's happening. We can't get bogged down. Again, police vehicles, get bogged down on a lot of different type of things. Yeah, it's just the whole thing of no mass federal firing. That means you can't use OPM. It doesn't mean that you can't, let people go, but you can't say if you let a probationary employees go because you don't want to use them because you're downsizing. You can't say it's for cause, or you can't say that it's because they didn't meet a standard. Through my investigations, the cam girl investigations, right? What Tate is accused of is like normal in Romania. Right? I mean, that's the only thing I say. I'm not approving of it or not approving of it. I'm not. Again, I don't approve of it, but I'm not trying to make a judgment call or anything there. I'm just telling you that I don't know why aren't they arresting the other 50 people or 100 people in number that are doing it. Right. Now I was trying to see if I could break somebody out. It wasn't working. Right. That actually freaked her out. Actually, that's when I knew it was probably uh, it was organized crime. Like, thanks, Larry. No, it's quite common in Romania. I mean, they may have cleaned it up. I don't know, but to me, when I investigated it, it looked like it was quite common in Romania. Thank you, Larry. Right. So one of the cartels' tricks uh, is to just freeze all movement in the city by taking over intersections and essentially lighting huge vehicles like semi tractor trailers on fire, right? And of course shooting and all the other stuff. Again, we see a lot of flash mobs and things. You never know who's actually instigating that. It could be a spy entity or even a cartel spy entity, right? Just knowing that they can do that, shut down a highway or something like that, which actually they were using in the immigrants were using this go round. So it could be inspired by the cartels. That's their MO. Doing great, Larry. You're doing great. Well, possibly part of what I needed to do was to use the heating pad at night, but I couldn't get anywhere. Right. So there should be an artificial intelligence system that we can construct for the border, and then it can watch traffic within. I'm sure you got something, but watch traffic within like 50 miles to 100 miles of the border and predict what's going on there. Right. Looks like it's about it. Stay peaceful. Praise God and all that you do.